In a game with as much history in it as Melee, there will naturally be people who rise up to represent the era. So what if I told you that this player, one who didn't win their first tournament until 2018, 17 years after Melee was released, would be defining the game as we now know it? Immediately after a heartbreaking loss at Tipped Off 16, Zayn Nagmi declared that the Summer of Smash belonged to him, and he meant it. Zayn proceeded to win 3 major tournaments in a row, an achievement already impressive in itself, but suddenly the seldom achieved 4-peat was a very real possibility. As Riptide 2025 approached, for Melee fans, there was really only one question that needed answering. Is there anybody in the world who can stop Zayn? But first, I'd like to thank Factor, who has paid to be mentioned in today's video. Factor just introduced its healthiest menu yet. I'm talking no refined seed oils, no refined sugars, no refined, yeah, you get it. It's just real food. I actually had a one-off deal with Factor years ago, and I did find it extremely convenient in taking the guesswork out of clean eating. I think you guys probably know by now that I usually keep myself pretty busy. I work and travel a lot, plus I'm always fitting in time for like exercise and my family and just general life enjoyment stuff. So as much as I love to cook, especially on those busy days full of meetings or editing or whatever else, one of the last things I want to do is spend even more time working on an elaborate dinner. Factor meals come together in literal minutes. I just throw mine in the microwave, and it really does take a lot of the guesswork and stress out of some of those jam-packed days. The meals are fresh, never frozen, and their portions are rather nice too if you're looking to track your macros at around 350 to 600 calories per serving. So if you're interested, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code WALTFB50 to get 50% off plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code WALTFB50 at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free breakfast for an entire year. Thanks again to Factor for supporting me and the channel, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Yeah, buddy, you already know it's the Walt Lore Power Hour. Woo! So I only went to Riptide in 2021 when I still worked for Panda. And it was kind of like weird COVID times, but hey, at least I got that cool shot of Cake Assault literally dislocating his shoulder, which, fun fact, MTV actually ended up contacting me to have that clip appear on an episode of Ridiculousness, so I think that's kind of cool. Anyway, Riptide is a cool event. It just always tends to fall on weekends that are tough for me to commit to. This year, I decided to watch party the top 8. It was the first time I've streamed in probably 4 or 5 years, and you guys honestly showed up huge, which made me really happy. So I definitely like to stream again, and I might even stream making this video, so shoutouts to you guys if you're watching that right now. But I thought this tournament was pretty exciting for a few reasons. The first one, and arguably the biggest storyline going into the weekend, was Zayn's opportunity to get a 4-peat. I thought it'd be interesting to dig into the last time someone had a 3-peat in Melee, and it turns out it was just this year, and it was actually right before Zayn got his. Before Zayn took the reins on the competitive Melee scene, Cody had won Nouns Bowl, Full House, and Tipped Off all in a row, which was ultimately the main reason for his #1 placement in the summer ranking. Going back even further, before Cody, the last person to win 3 majors in a row was, Zayn again. Around this time last year, he won Riptide 2024, Wavelength, and Luminosity Makes Moves Miami. And before Zayn again, the last person to win 3 majors in a row was, Cody again. Again? He won Shine 2023, the Big House 11, and Genesis X, which was preceded by another 3-peat from, say it with me if you know the pattern by now, Zayn again, this time at Fate 3, Gommel 2023, and Super Smash Con 2023. That level of dominance is what has set these two players apart in modern Melee. At any given point over the last 2 years, Zayn and Cody have just taken turns 3-peating, with a small smattering of other winners like Mango at Tipped Off 15 and Supernova 2024, Jmook at the Nouns Invitational, Moki at Dome Park on the Grass, and Hungrybox at Genesis X2. These were the only players not named Zayn or Cody who had won a major since 2024, by the way. To peel the calendar back even further to a player not named Zayn or Cody, the closest thing we've had to Zayn's recent 3-peat dates back to the late 2010s, from Hungrybox, who won 5 consecutive majors from the Big House 8 to Pound 2019. The award for longest major streak holder, though, goes to Armada, who won 6 in a row from Canada Cup 2016 to Smash Summit Spring 2017. In a way, that's kind of poetic, though, because one of the other biggest storylines of Riptide was in the longer-term historical implications of a Zayn W. If Zayn were to achieve the 4-peat here, he would tie Armada in all-time career major wins at 22. So with all of that on the line, let's quickly go over some of our other contenders for the podium. Also, quick vibe check, but just wanted to say if you're enjoying my content, definitely consider subscribing. Thanks. I talked about this in the Supernova recap, but I made an almost 3-hour-long video about Melee in 2023, and in it, I wrote in a narrative of 3 players who had defined the competitive year. Those players were the as-expected Zayn and Cody, alongside Jmook, a player who redefined modern Sheik in his meteoric rise to the top. Jmook's 2025 has been on a bit of a downturn, ultimately dropping to 15th in the world on the summer ranking, but this Riptide was an incredible comeback tour. A bronze medal gave Jmook his best placement at a major tournament since he won the Nouns Invitational at the end of 2024, and it even involved winning a handful of tough matchups for him in Aklo, Hungrybox, and Joshman.
Oh my god! He's dancing!
Yo, this is crazy, yo.
He doesn't stop! Brandon, he doesn't
Yeah,
stop!
don't. Oh my god.
Dude.
Yeah, I would say don't try this at home, but you should try it, because if you can do that, you will probably be a sponsored player.
This is 1 of 1.
Right.
This punish game is 1 of 1.
The crowd is like, yo, they're cheering for J-Boo because he was going so crazy.
Oh my god, and the wasteland back.
Yeah. Oh my.
He's getting
yeah,
so mixed, Brandon.
He's saucing
He's
him, bro.
so mixed.
Yeah.
He's caught in the blender.
He's like, yo, you gonna watch this? You gonna watch me keep cooking, cause you want to play the Josh man to go? I got you, bro.
Oh
Dang, that was, yo, them last 2 games were crazy.
Oh, this is relevant because I'm a John Boy sports stats nerd guy. You guys know it. But yeah, we technically got a Smashigami at this event, with Smash Poppy whipping out the Bowser against Wizrobe. Which, that matchup is really, really bad, but whatever, still counts. But that means that the only 2 characters who have never appeared in a major top 8 are now Kirby and Pichu. And I would gather we still have a decent ways to go before we get close to this portion of the board getting filled, but I digress. But the most shocking event at Riptide, at least to me, wasn't related to Jmook's comeback tour, or the prospect of a Zayn 4-peat, or a Bowser in top 8. It had to do with this electric mouse Pokemon. Well, actually, not really. Technically, no. I don't know. In quite literally the most important set win in his modern career, Axe finally defeated his biggest tournament demon, Hungrybox, snapping a 27-set losing streak. The last and only other time Axe had beaten Hungrybox before Riptide was at MLG Anaheim 2014, over 11 years ago. There is no beating around the bush on those numbers. Axe versus Hungrybox was the most lopsided top player matchup of Melee's current player base. And one of the big notes I brought up when we revealed the top 10 for the summer 2025 ranks was that Axe was really back in a really big way. He returned back into the top 10 and was showing he could be at the very least a consistent top 8 threat, but Hungrybox was always his biggest Achilles heel. I think this win more or less confirms that he really seriously is back to a position that can even possibly win majors, which is super exciting.
Up a little bit. Oh, let's fish that grab.
Can he do it
Oh my
for
God.
the first time in 11 years, dude? Is this going to happen?
Up throw.
Hang on.
Back air.
Back
No way! It was
And
back throw.
it's-
First time in 11 years since MLG Anaheim
I
2014.
can't believe it.
He said, damn, I did that? Did I do
me?
that?
Am I that guy?
Am I him?
I think
I'm
you
that
are.
guy.
And
It's
Jeff,
me. This is the first time
And the
he's
crowd.
cleared that hurdle in so long.
I'm so proud of him.
Oh my
We've all
God.
been watching this lopsided matchup take place again and again, the disappointment again and again. It sounds like he just won the tournament right now.
I mean, I tried coming into this. I was like, we got to frame this as like, this is the first time the dam breaks. Maybe it happens. I wasn't expecting. Look at him. Look at him.
Yeah! boy!
But although I thought Axe's upset was the story of the tournament, all roads do eventually lead back to Melee's modern duopoly. In 2025, there really is no stopping Zayn or Cody. They're the clear 2 best players in the world who only have seemed to tighten their grip over the rest of the field as the year has gone on. Cody helped to set the stage for Axe's history-making win over Hungrybox with some help from Jmook, as Cody sent Axe into the losers bracket and Jmook sent Hungrybox. When the two New York natives met up to kick off top 8 though, Cody got a swift 3-0. But in an almost reverse situation from Supernova, Zayn was the one having a much harder time making it to Cody in winners finals, being taken to 5 games by the illustrious Joshman. But once Zayn got there, he sliced his way into grands on the winner's side with a 3-0 over Cody. Cody didn't have to go far to make it back to Zayn though, only needing a single set over the surprise return of Jmook to reach his biggest rival. Set 1, it looked like we were in for another tipped off as a rather dominating 3-1 from Cody reset the bracket, which was, by the way, Zayn's first set loss to any player in his last 4 majors, so what? Anyway, if we were to use tipped off as a reference, it was kind of expected to have these two go the distance in set 2. But Zayn held off the bracket reset and cleaned up a 3-1 victory to win Riptide. In doing so, he completed the 4-peat and became the first player to win 4 majors in a row in the last 5 years.
Are you going to end it with a 4-stock right now, Zayn?
Hey, I believe, man, that'd be crazy if he actually came back. Or he might just get 40 piece.
4 majors in a row with the 4-stock?
With the 4-stock?
With the 4-stock?
Okay, maybe not a
JV.
4-stock, but...
JV.
You won't. Yeah, you won't. That crowd wanted it. Dang, nice SDI on Cody.
Yeah, jab reset not working out for Cody, or for Zayn there.
He would have to get, like, ooh, I was a fan of him. He has to get some crazy quick kill. I mean, if he gets a super quick kill, but, yeah, it's looking...
This is looking like...
Yeah, it's looking like Zayn about to get another trophy.
Dang.
Tell his mom to add another one to the mantle.
I need a check bag for this trophy.
Right.
Bring it back home.
Right?
Zayn.
Take it back to Virginia.
Ended
there
it
we
with
go.
the dunk.
There we go.
Zayn winning 4 majors in a row.
What?
So it turns out Zayn is really good at Melee, and that's probably not a controversial statement. Which makes me return to the question I presented at the start of this video. Can anyone stop him? Even though I was sort of joking for the sake of the intro, at least for right now, I'm honestly having a really hard time figuring out who can really challenge him for the throne. Zayn and Cody have ushered in what I consider to be the modern rivalry of Melee, and a really, really historic one at that. I'd love to do a video detailing that in the future, so of course let me know if you want to see that in the comments, but in the context of 2025, there is honestly no one else who has come close, and I wonder if anyone will even be able to step up to the plate. Not to reduce Zayn's achievements because they are truly unbelievable, but I don't think it's a coincidence that this streak of dominance has happened in parallel to AMSA's reduced attendance at majors. That's not to say Zayn can't defeat AMSA because he did literally win their last set together, but there's a reason this video, talking about the square of parity between Zayn, AMSA, Cody, and Mango in 2024, even exists in the first place. There was a very discernible difference in Zayn's performance at events where he had to play AMSA versus ones where he didn't. The same is also true for Zayn's relationship to players like Leffen, who is practically retired, or Mango, who is banned for a period of time. I don't think either of these two had as lopsided a set history with Zayn as AMSA did, but those are just the facts. Players that might have served as checks or counters to Zayn in the past are either not appearing at tournaments or perhaps come with some asterisk. Axe was arguably the best player in the world in the Marth matchup, but just beat Zayn for the first time in years at Full House. Jmook won their last encounter, but he's been falling out of bracket earlier than expected, so he often doesn't even get the chance to see Zayn. A player like Nikki destroyed him 3-0 at Dome Park, but has gone on record saying he may not be traveling as much for the rest of this year and beyond because he lives in Germany. Aklo's Link found 2 separate set wins over Zayn in 2024, only to be followed up with Zayn's Roy beating the Hero of Time. That's kind of just the evolution of competition, but I think you get what I mean. There is an extremely short list of players who can say they can consistently go toe-to-toe with this guy. And for some players, it would require either an insane streak break or practically a miracle to eventually be added to the list. Zayn is obviously one of, if not the best player of the modern generation of Melee. In my opinion, he's at least 4th in the ever-heated GOAT debate. Notice how I said at least. I don't think he's 4th. Let's relax in the comments now. But now that he's tied Armada's win count in offline majors, I really wouldn't argue with you if you had him higher too. But that's the exciting thing about this game, man, because sometimes people look at these streaks of dominance and roll their eyes because it's boring watching the same person win and win and win. But to me, it is exhilarating watching a player like Zayn climb his way to the top and then hold his hand out, inviting others to try to challenge him at the summit. I adore that type of challenge and I adore that type of sportsmanship. And it's stuff like that which is what makes Melee a competitive masterpiece. Thanks for watching.
Obviously, I'm gonna think about the ranking at the end of the day.
Right.
It's just like the nature of it. But I just want to look back at my career and think like I went into every tournament just trying to win, and I think that's just the coolest way to approach it.
Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't seen my community post, I'm going on vacation for the rest of this month, so I'm most likely not publishing anything else in September. If I do, it'll probably be at the very end of the month. But I have a lot of big plans for the last few months of this year, and I think you're going to like what we have going on. I'm still going to obsessively look at my analytics even while I'm on vacation, by the way, so just do me a favor and interact with this video in some way to at least give me that sweet serotonin boost. I just did a stream recently, and I'm actually streaming the editing of this video right now, so yeah, now we have this fun little banner on the top of the channel to show all the members on YouTube. Of course, let me know if you want to see the streams in the future, and thank you to some of these members like Avishua Stein, Bobby Wasabi, Dark Genix, Eric is Cool, Gustavo Cantu Fernandez, Henry Huang, Ian, Jazz the Pirate, Justin Duncan Mills, Kyle Carlin, Marshall Bradley, and Sam Wright.